those movies that y'all watch, with the vampires, and they're just coming at you in these dark outfits. They don't always look like that, y'all. An energy vampire could be that sweet little old lady that's just like, that's always, pulling at your energy because they're always wanting something. Like they're not, a lot of them, okay? A lot of them don't know that they're energy vampires. A lot of them do. A lot of them are very much aware, and they're very conscious that they're literally coming at you because they want your energy, they want your light, they want what you have, they want your gift. They're very conscious of who they are as energy vampires. Okay? And they purposefully come to you to take of your energy. And what makes them an energy vampire specifically is that they're wanting to take and take and take, and they ain't putting nothing in the pot, y'all. What pot? What are you talking about? The only pot that exists is theirs. They're like, give, take. Like that's how they function. Okay? So some of these folks are intentionally that way. And some folks, they're not intentional with being energy vampires. There are some folks that are not, they're not willing to do the work, and they see someone who is willing to do the work, and they attach themselves to that person. And by merely attaching themselves to someone who is doing the work, that's how their mind works. That's how they think that they're actually working, is because now they're associated with someone who's doing. There's no way that you can get this work done without doing it yourself. Someone needed to hear this. There's no way that you can get this work done without doing it yourself. It is going to take energy. Associating with yourself with someone who's doing the work is not doing the work. It'll make you feel good. At the end of the day, it'll give you that, that good old feeling that, that you did something. Okay. You listen to that podcast, and that podcast, just elevated your energy, but you haven't done the work. You have not done the work yet. That's not doing the work. Someone needed to hear that. Doing the work is actually facing yourself. It's asking yourself the tough questions that you may be hesitant to ask. And for some of y'all, that the tough questions that you get to ask is, what role are you playing in the conditions that exist in your life? That's the tough question. Listening to a podcast, listening to someone, spit words of positivity into your life, that's not the work, y'all. I'm sorry to, burst somebody's bubble that probably just listened to a podcast and is feeling really nice. Okay? Some of y'all are like, you're not wanting to do the work, or you don't want to, you want someone else to do it for you, because that's the society we're living in now. Let's get it quick. Let's get it done quick. The only thing you can't get done quick, fast, in a hurry is that spiritual walk. Yeah, you got to go through it. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. And anyone you see who exemplifies that energy, they didn't just get it overnight. So respect that. And, people that have done the work, they will respect it. Some won't. That's just the nature of man. Some folks, they in their ego, they're not going to respect, someone's journey and this, that, and the third. You're always going to have those type of folks. But respect it. Okay? Respect is a law of nature. To have respect, it is a law of nature. And when you connect with nature, you will understand that aspect. Okay? There's a saying in Haitian that goes "Sans pas connaître puis grand passer." In Haitian, the saying is "Sans pas connaître puis grand passer." And the saying is really that there's always more to learn. That's how I interpret it. There's always more to learn. Respect everyone's journey. Respect where each person is in their walk. Especially some of these folks, you know, that have been in the spiritual game for a long time, and then, you know, you got the babies that are just coming out, and they like, you know, they like in their egos, you know, they want to. There's that too, y'all. There's some folks that have been in this spiritual walk for quite some time and still haven't learned, y'all. So the number of years is not indicative of what you know. The number of years is not indicative of what you know and where you are in your spiritual walk. What is really an indicator is this: your spirit, your soul. Is it pure? Is it pure? Is it doing this, you know, to show off? Is it, you know, is it doing this to, you know, to manipulate others and to control others? Is that why you're doing it? Because it's going to show. It's going to show. You know, your intentions are going to be shown through the work and through the things that you do. Like, nothing is really hidden in the spirit realm. That's the funny thing. It's unseen, yet everything that is spiritual, like, you'll see it in the physical. Like, folks think that they can hide their intentions. They could hide, you know, their true intentions. Like, you know, it's going to come out. Your reason for, you know, studying this craft, you know, you really want to, you know, control the minds of others, and you presenting it as, okay, righteous and this, that, it's going to come out. Mother Moon has a tendency to reveal all things. That's what the moon does. Mother Moon has a tendency to reveal people's deepest intentions, y'all. So it's like, that's why sometimes it's good when you're dealing with someone to step back a little bit, okay? To really, like, don't rush in, okay? Especially some of y'all who are new in your spiritual walk, and, you know, someone comes in your energy, and, you know, it's like they have the robe of spirituality, you know, on them. They look like they've been doing this thing for such a long time, and here you are, you're just a babe. You're like, oh hey, oh, here you are, like, you're bending down. You're like, oh my goodness, I wish I could be in that space, in that place. And then when you're looking at that person, like, literally all you see is this person glowing, you know, in their full gown and this, that, and the third. Be careful with that. Because some people, when they see that you are in a space where you are just learning, those people, regardless of how many years they've been doing this so-called spiritual stuff, they can be energy vampires as well. Y'all didn't know that energy vampires can wear the cloak of spirituality. They can. Okay? They see someone that could do their bidding, and so they use whatever knowledge that they have, and they use it to try to control those who are less than, who are just starting out, who are just babies. Literally what they see is fresh blood. Okay? That's why they're energy vampires. Like, some of these so-called spiritual folks out there, best believe, like their heart's not pure. They're not doing this, you know, to elevate themselves, and they're doing it to see how many people they can control, how many people they can get under, you know, they can dominate, how many people they can get to follow them. You know, they want to lead a this, they want to lead a that. And then massive control, massive power, this, that, and the third, and those are the folks that get humbled. Those are the folks that get humbled by spirit right quick, because it's like, you really doing this? Like, you portray yourself as someone who's highly spiritual, and you're giving off the vibes of someone who's like, and yet your true intention is to, those kind of folks get humbled real quick. Okay? They get humbled real quick, especially when they're dealing with someone who's chosen. And many of you chosen out there, you dealt with people like that. You dealt with people who saw you in your naive state, in the period of time where you didn't know as much as you do now. Okay, some of y'all, a lot of you chosen, you dealt with people like that, and guess what? They knew you were chosen. And part of the reason why they're energy vampires is because they wanted to use your energy as a chosen seed to do whatever work that they needed to do. That's what makes these folks energy vampires. And a lot of you chosen out there, you dealt, with some folks like that, unfortunately. Folks that met you in a period of time where you were not awakened. They came to take advantage of your energy, your purpose, your path. All right? They cloaked themselves as someone or people who were highly spiritual, yet their souls were not right. Some of y'all were dealing with, energy vampires that didn't look like energy vampires. I mean, they're not supposed to look like energy vampires, because that's how they're able to siphon your energy. Okay? So be cautious. Take care of your energy. Your energy is your power. Your energy is something that no one can take from you unless you give it. Your energy is something that no one can take from you unless you allow it. So, who are you allowing to take of your energy? Some of y'all, is it Netflix? That was a joke, y'all. I do crack jokes sometimes. Is it Netflix that's got you seated on that couch for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours? And you like, wait, I was supposed to read that book on abundance. Wait, I was supposed to read such and such. Wait, I was supposed to journal. And then you just found yourself sitting on that couch or wherever it is you're sitting and just watching Netflix for hours. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, dang, the day is like done and I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. What happened? Energy vampire. Yes, energy vampires come in all forms, all shapes and sizes. They keep us from doing the work that we're supposed to be doing. Or I'm going to rephrase that. We allow them. We allow them. So remember, like, no one can take of your energy unless you allow it. And your energy is priceless. That's what you have. Your energy is your life force. As they say, your chi. Is that what it is? Your ka. Am I saying that right? Okay. You say you're dealing with this, Patty? Yeah, a lot of us have dealt with that.